Hey YouTube, it's a day of the week. This week on Vedawesome, we are stealing the idea that the Vlogbrothers did last week about religion, and we're having our own conversations about religion because it's just a really interesting topic. Recently, I've been having some conversations with my father about religion, and it's really interesting because we're both Catholic, but we both have very different views on certain issues. So when I was having these conversations with my father, I realized that what we were talking about centered around a bigger question, which is the purpose of organized religion and whether religion should be more ideological or more pragmatic. And I was trying to think of a better way to word this, but basically, is it the role of religion to show us how we should live and how the world should be, or is it the role of religion to take into account that we're human and we make mistakes and show us how to live in an imperfect world? And my father said that he believed that the role of religion should be ideological and focus on how we should live, and I was a little more unsure about this because I think it's really important that we have both these morals that we should live up to, but at the same time we should take into account that we can't live in a perfect world. I mean, I guess you could argue that with God, we can create a perfect world, and I think it's important to work towards that perfect world. But right now, the world's not so perfect. I didn't really want to bring any controversial topics into this video, but I think this helps illustrate my point. When talking about issues dealing with gays and lesbians with the Catholic Church, there's a lot of conflict going on because historically the Church has looked at it more from an ideological perspective and saying that it's wrong or unnatural to be gay or lesbian. I really grappled with this issue for a lot of years, but recently I've begun to look at it from more of a pragmatic standpoint. And instead of questioning whether it was right or wrong, I realized that people were being discriminated against, and that should be the bigger issue. We should be working towards ending the discrimination and ending the prejudice. At this point, I've really stopped questioning whether it was right or wrong and just focused on ending the discrimination. And now I'm wondering if maybe I should go back and question whether things are right or wrong, because I still think it's important that we have right and wrong. But it's so hard to focus on whether something is right when you know that these people are being wronged. So basically, instead of focusing on the issue from an ideological perspective, I now focus on this issue and many others from a more pragmatic perspective and what can we do to help people now, not so much whether those people are right or wrong. I know I mostly focused on the Catholic Church in this video since I am Catholic, but I think it applies to all religious institutions, and I think it's an important question for us to ask ourselves whether religious institutions should be ideological or pragmatic, because I personally believe that it's important to have both, but you could argue that religion could be ideological and we could have another non-religious institution that's more pragmatic. However, I tend to favor the idea that religion should be both, because religion should be some kind of unifying thing that unifies your life and provides a guide to your life. So it should be both because life is complicated, and so religion should take all those complexities into account. And of course, this leads to other issues which I don't have time to discuss in this video, such as what is the role of religion, and is the role of religion to give us morals, and if so, do we really need religion to give us morals, or can we do that without religion? And if we can do that without religion, then why on earth do we have religion? And in the long run, really, how much does religion affect our day-to-day lives? Because a lot of us say, like, oh, we're Christians, or we're Muslims, or whatever, but does that really affect the way you live your life? Do you really think about God all the time? Because, I mean, that's my goal, but that goal doesn't happen very often. I'd really like to talk about these topics, but like I said, I'm out of time, so maybe one of my collab colleagues will talk about this in future videos if they feel so inclined. But yeah, if you have any comments, please post below. I love having discussions. I think that's all for today, so I hope you all have a great day, and remember to go out there and question things.